Did you know that regularly eating the wrong nuts could increase your risk of heart disease by almost 50%? Especially if you're over 60? This isn't just a scary story or something you read online. This number comes directly from a study that lasted many years and was published in the Journal of the American College of Cardiology. Here's the surprising part. Many older folks think they're choosing healthy snacks, but some common nuts found in most pantries can actually raise blood pressure, cause inflammation, clog arteries, and even speed up brain aging. And there's one nut in particular which we'll talk about later that contains a toxic substance that can build up in the body and harm your liver, kidneys, and brain. Yes, the same nut that's often recommended for low-carb diets could be secretly harming your health over time. And it's probably already in your snack bowl. But don't worry, in this video we'll explain everything. From the safest and healthiest nuts for your heart and brain, which you should eat, to the ones you'd better stop eating today. Consider this your practical guide, and be sure to watch until the end, because the worst nut on the list has a hidden danger that almost no one talks about, and it could be harming your health without you even realizing it. But before we start, leave a comment below and tell us where you're watching from. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Okay, let's talk about the first of 4 nuts that older adults should definitely be eating. Number 4, almonds, the bone-strengthening superstars. Almonds are a real superfood for seniors, packed with calcium and vitamin E, which work together to keep bones strong. As we get older, our bones naturally weaken, making injuries from falls even more risky. Just a quarter cup of almonds provides about 97 milligrams of calcium, helping to fight bone loss that increases after age 65. But almonds aren't just about calcium, they also contain magnesium, which is essential for getting calcium into your bones, preventing it from depositing in your arteries. Almonds are also rich in monounsaturated fats, which help lower LDL cholesterol, the bad kind that clogs arteries and increases the risk of heart disease, especially in seniors. How many should you eat per day? About 15 or 20 almonds, preferably raw or dry roasted without salt. Each serving also contains about 3.5 grams of fiber, which helps prevent constipation, a common problem for almost 40% of seniors. And here's the best part. A Tufts University study found that the special antioxidants in almonds help protect brain cells from damage, possibly slowing down the memory loss and thinking problems that many worry about as they get older. When buying almonds, choose those with the skin still on. That's where you'll find the flavonoids which, along with vitamin E, double the antioxidant power. One quick note, make sure you chew your almonds well. For older folks who have trouble swallowing, almonds can be a choking hazard if they're not chewed properly. Number 3, walnuts, a real lifesaver for the brain. Walnuts might be the absolute best food for older people's brains. It's no coincidence that they kind of look like a human brain. They're packed with nutrients that help the brain work well. They have more alpha-linolenic acid than any other common nut. This is a plant-based omega-3 fatty acid. This is important because omega-3s help keep brain cells healthy and talking to each other. A major study in the Journal of Nutrition showed that older folks who ate just a small handful of walnuts a day for 8 weeks improved their memory and were able to think faster. Walnuts are also full of special plant compounds called polyphenols. These can get into brain tissue and reduce inflammation, something that plays a role in dementia and Alzheimer's. Many people don't know that walnuts also have melatonin, the sleep hormone that goes down as we get older. A small handful in the evening might help you sleep better. These nuts are also good for your heart because they contain arginine, a building block of protein that helps blood vessels relax, and polyphenols that reduce stress in the body. For seniors taking blood pressure medication, walnuts might even help the medicine work better by keeping arteries flexible. To get the most benefit, store walnuts in the refrigerator to prevent their oils from going bad, and try to eat 7 to 9 halves every day. If you can, crack the walnuts yourself. It's a simple way to keep your hands active and nimble. This helps you maintain dexterity in your hands and fingers. A bit like knitting or playing bocce ball, it helps with coordination. If they seem a little bitter, don't worry. It just means they're rich in healthy antioxidants, just like a good strong coffee. Number 2, pistachios, your blood pressure's best friend. We often forget about pistachios, but they might be the best nut for managing blood pressure in older adults. Why? Their fantastic potassium to sodium ratio. Just one serving gives you about 285 milligrams of potassium and almost 0 sodium, which makes them perfect for keeping blood pressure in check. This balance is really important for older folks, especially since their kidneys don't work as well as they age. Studies show this ratio can lower systolic blood pressure by 3 to 5 points, similar to some medications but naturally. Pistachios also contain eye-protecting nutrients like lutein and zeaxanthin, which help prevent macular degeneration, the leading cause of vision loss in people over 60. Unlike other nuts that can be hard for older teeth to chew, pistachios are easier to eat, but they still have a nice crunch. Their bright green and purple colors also show they have antioxidants, which are great for our cells as we get older. Another good thing, shelling them slows down how fast we eat them, so it's easier not to eat too many. It's also good for our minds, like doing a crossword puzzle. One study even showed that seeing the empty shells helps people eat the right amount, kind of like when we were kids and cleaned our plates. If you have arthritis, look for pistachios that are already a little bit open. They're easier on your joints, but you can still shell some of them. Try to eat about 49 pistachios a day, which is about 1 ounce. It's best if they're unsalted or lightly salted. A single serving of pistachios has 3 grams of fiber, which is helpful for managing blood sugar. This is really important for the many older folks who have diabetes or prediabetes. In first place, Brazil nuts. They're like superheroes for your thyroid. Brazil nuts are at the top of our list because they are the best food source of selenium. Selenium is a mineral that's super important for a healthy thyroid. Just one Brazil nut has 96 micrograms of selenium. That's 137% of your daily needs. And this is really important. Up to 20% of older adults have thyroid problems that haven't been diagnosed, and the symptoms are often mistaken for just getting older. Selenium helps your body use thyroid hormones, which affect your energy, metabolism, and even your mood. But that's not all. Brazil nuts have special fats that protect the myelin sheath. That's the outer coating of your nerve cells, which naturally wears down over time. This could help older folks stay coordinated, mentally sharp, and quick to react. Basically, stay young and lively. The great thing is, the selenium in Brazil nuts is easy for your body to absorb, much better than most supplements. With their rich, creamy flavor, just 1 or 2 a day is all you need. And that's all you should eat, because too much selenium can be harmful. Remember, too much of a good thing can be a bad thing. Try to buy Brazil nuts that are still in their shells. They stay fresh longer and keep their nutrients better. Store them in the fridge to keep the fats from going bad. They're also great for digestion, because they contain both fiber and healthy oils, which help keep you regular. And since they're a little sweet, they're a good alternative to sugary snacks, like the tempting treats you see in bakery windows. What's really interesting is that some early studies show that Brazil nuts might actually help protect telomeres, which are like caps on the ends of our DNA, and this could affect how fast we age at a cellular level. Think of it like a fine wine that gets better with age. So those are the best kinds of nuts for healthy aging after 65. But now, let's switch gears and talk about nuts you should avoid, or at least eat carefully. Number 4, peanuts, the hidden inflammation risk. Even though peanuts are a popular snack in many homes, they can cause some real problems for older adults. For starters, peanuts aren't actually nuts. They're legumes that grow underground, which makes them a breeding ground for mold and something called aflatoxin. Aflatoxin is a harmful substance that can damage your liver and might even increase your risk of cancer, especially as you get older, when your body isn't as good at getting rid of harmful substances. Peanuts also contain proteins that can cause some inflammation, even if you're not allergic. This inflammation can increase joint pain, put a strain on your heart, and might even make it harder to remember things. All problems that can get worse with age. Plus, peanuts are high in omega-6 fats, which most people in Italy, like in the United States, already get too much of. Too much omega-6 fats can make inflammation worse. Now, if you take blood thinners like warfarin, there's something else to watch out for. The vitamin K in peanuts can interfere with how the medicine works. Sadly, many doctors don't tell their patients this, but it's something to be aware of. Most commercial peanut butters are even worse because they contain hydrogenated oils, too much salt, and added sugars. These ingredients are bad for the hearts and blood vessels of older adults. Even peanut butters labeled natural often hide sodium, which can raise blood pressure. High blood pressure is already a big problem for 63% of older Americans. Also, peanuts can go bad if not stored properly. Spoiled peanuts create harmful substances called free radicals that can damage cells. And then there's the usual way of dry roasting peanuts. Even though it makes the peanuts taste better, it also creates acrylamide. Some studies suggest this chemical might speed up brain aging. This is especially worrisome for older folks who are already concerned about their memory. If you've been eating peanuts without any issues, try swapping them out a few days a week for some of the healthier nuts we talked about. Even a small change can cut down on the amount of these bad things you're eating and give you better nutrition. Number 3. Cashews, the hidden blood sugar spike. Cashews may seem like a harmless snack, but they hide some dangers for older adults, especially because they're high in carbs and can raise blood sugar. Unlike other nuts that grow on trees, cashews contain about 9 grams of carbs per ounce and not much fiber. This can spike blood sugar, which can be a problem for the 25% of adults over 65 with diabetes and for almost 50% of those who are pre-diabetic. This is a trap because cashews appear healthy. Many people think cashews are a good snack, so they eat too many without realizing their blood sugar might go up. Their smooth shape also makes them easy to swallow whole, creating a choking hazard. Cashews are among the nuts that most often cause choking in older adults, which is especially risky for those who have trouble swallowing. Cashews are also rich in oxalates. These substances can bind to calcium in the stomach, making it harder for the body to absorb it. This can be a problem for older adults, especially those concerned about osteoporosis. Think of it like when sauce sticks to the pan, it's hard to clean. If you suffer from kidney stones, oxalates can make things worse. And the likelihood of developing kidney stones increases significantly after age 60. So, as the saying goes, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Here's another issue: how cashews are processed. Before you can eat them, cashews need a lot of processing to remove urushiol. It's the same irritating stuff found in poison ivy. This process often uses high temperatures which destroy nutrients. Most cashews we buy at the supermarket are roasted in oil and salted, adding extra fat and salt, 2 things that strain a senior's heart. Not many people know that cashews contain enzyme inhibitors that make it harder for our bodies to digest protein. This can be a problem for older adults because their bodies aren't as efficient at digesting protein anymore. Also, cashews are so creamy and tasty that it's easy to eat too many, which can lead to weight gain. It's harder to manage weight as we get older. If you eat a lot of cashews, try gradually replacing them with almonds or walnuts. These kinds of nuts are better and present fewer problems for the bodies of older adults. Number 2. Macadamia nuts, a real calorie bomb. Macadamia nuts may have a buttery, delicious taste, but they are one of the worst snacks for seniors because they are very high in calories. With about 200 calories in just 1 ounce, they have more calories than almost all other nuts. This isn't good for older people, especially because as we age, our bodies don't burn calories as quickly. It becomes easier to gain weight and much harder to lose it. As if that weren't enough, there are 22 grams of fat in just 1 ounce, mostly from rich oils, and this can strain the gallbladder. For the 15% of seniors who have gallstones and don't even know it, eating macadamia nuts could cause severe pain. And let's not forget about the saturated fat. With about 3 grams per ounce, macadamia nuts can raise LDL cholesterol levels, a real problem for those already at risk for heart problems. Their firm, dense texture is also a problem. Seniors with crowns, bridges, or weakened teeth might find them hard or even harmful to bite into. Another thing to think about is the price. Macadamia nuts are expensive, and many shoppers on a budget might end up buying cheaper nuts that have gone bad, which means more bad fats that harm the body. Also, the kind you usually find in stores is roasted in oil and has a lot of salt, adding even more sodium and unhealthy fats. Their rich flavor is another problem. Older people often have a less developed sense of taste. This can make macadamia nuts especially appealing, leading to overconsumption. What's even more concerning is the idea that all nuts are good for your heart. But many studies showing the heart benefits of nuts didn't actually include high-fat nuts like macadamias. If you eat a lot of macadamia nuts, think about switching to pistachios. They have a similar satisfying crunch, but they're much healthier for older adults. Number 1. Pine nuts, the medication disruptors. Pine nuts are at the top of the list of foods to avoid because of how they interact with common medications and cause unexpected problems for older adults. The biggest warning? Pine nuts contain things that can interfere with how well more than 60% of medications work, especially those taken by seniors. These include blood pressure medications, cholesterol medications, and antidepressants, medicines that millions of older adults take every day. However, not many doctors or pharmacists talk about the problems that can happen when you mix pine nuts with these medicines. Another problem is something called pine mouth syndrome. It leaves a bitter or metallic aftertaste and stick around for days or even weeks after eating pine nuts. It might not seem like a big deal, but for older folks it can cause a loss of appetite, make them eat less, and even lead to unwanted weight loss. show that almost half of the people who get it experience big changes in their eating habits. Seniors seem to be more likely to get it because of changes in taste and how their bodies handle toxins as they get older. When it comes to inflammation, pine nuts are not a good choice. They're full of polyunsaturated fats that can go bad quickly, increasing inflammation in the body. This is a big problem for people who suffer from chronic illnesses like arthritis. Being so small and smooth, they also pose a serious choking hazard for older adults, especially for those who take medications that cause dry mouth or have trouble swallowing. From a nutritional standpoint, pine nuts aren't that great. They contain enzyme inhibitors that can make it harder for the body to digest proteins. This can be a problem for older adults who sometimes already have trouble getting all the nutrients they need from food. Even in pesto, which is the most common use for pine nuts, the mix of oil and pine nuts makes it a very high-calorie food. This can easily lead to weight gain. And here comes the kicker, or rather, the bad news according to recent studies. Some types of pine nuts might worsen age-related macular degeneration. This is the leading cause of vision loss in people over 65. For all these reasons, pine nuts are the most problematic nut for older adults. Here are the 4 kinds of nuts we recommend you don't eat after age 65. By carefully choosing which nuts you eat, and cutting back on those that may not be good for you, you can have more energy, keep your brain healthy, and feel great as you get older. The important thing is to make small changes regularly, a little like adjusting your aim in bocce ball. Step by step, these changes can make a big difference, just like a drop of water can wear away a stone. We'd love to hear from you. Have you noticed any changes, good or bad, after adding or removing certain types of nuts from your diet? Which types of nuts made the biggest difference? Tell us in the comments. We always enjoy hearing from you. Thanks for